Hey guys, my name is Simone. This is Simone Says, and today I'm going to be talking about 7 things that I learned from my first semester in grad school in 2019. I'm currently in my second semester of my first year, and you know what? I'm not even gonna start babbling. We ain't got time to waste time. That's number 0. That's base level. You don't have time to waste time. Like, let's just get into it. Summer mode and syllabus week. Let me talk about syllabus week. That was basically where the professor or the teacher, whatever, would talk about how the course was going to be broken up, the policies, plagiarisms, and the funniest part was that every course had the exact same plagiarism paragraph, like word for word. But we're not talking about that. They would literally talk about, like, you know, how your grades are gonna work, how they teach, what their office hours were, and just like materials you would need for the course and all that stuff. And that would take anywhere from about half an hour to an hour. And you know, so if you were late to class, you know, you didn't really miss much because you can read a syllabus, you can read one. But that was undergrad. That's not grad school. They went through that syllabus for maybe 20 minutes to maybe half an hour, and then they just kept it pushing. They started teaching the material that you needed to know. Now, summer mode, I was in that stuff. I was in summer mode for a good 2 weeks. I cannot tell you what I was doing. I have no idea, but I was not studying. I had no desire to study. Outside was nice, like the weather was beautiful. I just wanted to just come home from class and just sit around, you know? But I quickly realized that I could not be doing that because midterms started approaching. I needed to get out of summer mode. So 2 things. There's no such thing as syllabus week, and get out of summer mode. Quick, fast, and with a hurry. Recognize your weaknesses. Now, in the beginning of the semester last year, a lot of the professors and teachers would talk about how your undergrad study strategies were not going to work in grad school. They talked about it a lot, and to be honest with you, I liked my study strategies. It took me a long time to really master them and make them work for me in undergrad, and I'm like, I like my study strategies, I'm gonna keep them. So I basically ignored their advice, you know, because I just ignored their advice, and I basically continued to use the study strategies that I used in undergrad in grad school. And I quickly realized that it wasn't until, you know, midterm season and, you know, started getting the marks back. I mean, like, not all of them, but a few of them, you know, it really showed that my study strategies from undergrad were just not working for grad school. So I knew that I had to make some changes. I had to change the way I was studying, the way I was taking notes in class, the way I was preparing my notes, the way I was paying attention in class, mainly how I was studying. And I will be doing a video later on about how I have changed my study strategy. And basically how I feel like it works for me, because it's one thing for somebody to tell you that you need to make a change, but then not tell you how, especially when you're in a situation when you already don't know so many things. Like, I'm in grad school, I already don't know a lot. So I will be doing a video on that. So subscribe to my channel if you want to see that video. Basically, it's just realizing that my study strategies were now too weak in order to help me through grad school. It wasn't until I took some L's that I realized I had to make a change. You will take L's. It's a part of the process. And I'm not trying to rain on no one's parade. I'm not trying to be a negative person. I'm positive most of the time. Like, it's just a part of it. I say this to say that you need to understand that that is a part of the process in order for you to be able to move on from your mistakes, to be able to move on when you don't do as well as you thought you were gonna do, because your well-being is more important than you getting whatever grade you thought you wanted to get, or to that level that you wanted to get. You need you in order to get to the next level. So it's important that you maintain that sense of, it's okay if I take L's, because they are going to happen. Just don't be hard on yourself when it does happen. Take the L for what it is, brush it off and move on. Accept it and just keep going. And this is coming from me. I'm the biggest control freak I know. I don't like to go into something when I don't know the outcome. And that stems from failure, being afraid to fail, being afraid to take that L. But I'm learning that taking the L is not the end of the world. You literally that's just a part of it, and you have to be able to take the L and learn from it and analyze it. So I feel like taking the L is a part of the process. Learn to love it, you know? The L can be love. You have love for the L, you know? You don't have to do it alone. This one is pretty simple, but it's not for everyone. Some people really just like being by themselves. Some people work better by themselves, and that is fine. But if you realize that you need somebody to talk to, or you need somebody to vent to, or just need some kind of motivation, you literally don't have to do it alone, because everybody in that program is doing the exact same thing, going through the same tests, the same practicals, the same quizzes, the same course load. They might have different circumstances outside of school, but they are still all there experiencing the same school life to some degree. So finding that group of friends that is there to motivate you, cares about your well-being, cares about how well you do and all that stuff, and is there to hold you accountable sometimes is great. And realizing that you don't have to do it alone is an amazing thing. Shout out to my friends. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are. Make goals and make them realistic. Now, it's a great thing to make such great, big, grand, long-term goals, but it's the short-term goals that will get you to long-term goals. And realizing that realistic goal making takes self-reflection and understanding and recognizing your weaknesses and your actual capabilities, your strengths, and making your goals around that. Because the realistic goals come from your realistic capabilities, not what you strive to do in 3 years from now. It's what you can actually do right now. Start with a small goal. Once you achieve that goal and you feel good about it, make the next one a little bit more challenging, a little bit outside of your capability, and then strive for that goal. Short term, but it's always progressively working towards your long-term goal. Just making it realistic makes a lot more sense. And another big thing is writing out your goals. When you write out your goals, I feel like there's this sense of accountability that comes from putting it on paper. So I always write out all of my goals, whether it be what I want to do in terms of studying for that day. I write it out and make it into a checklist instead of bullet points. I make it into a checklist, because putting a check on it or crossing it off or taking it off your list feels so good, because you feel like you've accomplished something. You can look back on your day and be like, I did this, 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 and this, and you don't ever feel like you wasted your day. So just make goals and make them realistic. Take time to yourself. Now, this is easier said than done, because the way grad school works, it's like they don't want you to even have time to shower most times. But it is important that you take care of yourself. For me, I spend so much time, so much energy, and kind of a lot of money in my skin, and I do take my time when it comes to my skincare, and I wasn't gonna let that one go for grad school. Even if it's just one thing that you do every week for yourself that makes you feel relaxed, that makes you feel at ease, that makes you feel good about yourself, do not let that one thing go, whether it be going to the gym, doing facials, doing your hair, getting your nails done, going to the gym. Did I say going to the gym already? I'm pretty sure I did. Making a properly cooked meal for yourself, even going for a walk, getting a breath of fresh air. Whatever that makes you feel good, do that. Even if it's just once a week, make time for that and make it a priority. So then when you make it a priority, it's easier to make time for it. I feel like a lot of the time we say that we don't have time for something because we don't make it a priority. Make it a priority first, and then you will find time to do the things that are priorities in your life. That's just the way it works for me, at least mentally. Because when I made skincare a priority in my life, it just became second nature. I just don't let go of that one thing that is you taking care of you, because you need you to get through this. And finally, my last point is everything will be okay. I honestly believe that sometimes you are exactly where you need to be in your life, in this time in your life, sometimes. And you can't always stress out about the little things. You need to be able to know that you did your best in a situation and just let go of the control. That's coming from me, because I am a control freak. I know that you have so much more peace of mind knowing that you did your best, and whatever comes back to you from that is a result of your best work. You can't change the mark, especially if it's like a true or false, like it's fact. You can't. The answer was A. It's gonna be A no matter how much you swing it, turn it, twist it. Unless the question was poorly written, the answer is still gonna be A. So don't sweat the little things and everything will be okay. Until next time, stay hydrated, motivated, and mind your business. I mean, you know, it's just easy that way. Shoot, okay, no. I don't like that. I'm gonna start something again. This is good. We're good. We are good. Okay. Man, I'm thirsty. My voice is dry. We gotta record this again.